Today is January 19th, 2023. We're at the Guadalupe Center on the second floor, and we're visiting with Chef Jess Barbosa. Jess is his name. He calls himself Jess. Jesus is his full name. Jess, tell me a little bit about your family. Did your family come from Mexico to Kansas City?
Actually, they stopped over in Texas, Fort Worth. How much time they spent there, I'm not really sure. I know that we're a family of 8. We had the 2 elders were born in Texas, and then they came to Kansas City, and the rest of them were born here in the Westside community.
What year were you born?
1933.
And you were born here in Kansas City?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What brought your parents to Kansas City?
Well, according to what they told me, if I remember right, is the revolution. I don't know too much about it, but that's how it was. They had to run away from there.
Mexican Revolution.
Yeah.
So when they came to Kansas City, what type of work did your father and maybe your mother do in Kansas City?
Well, mother never worked, but she had, taking care of the kids. My father worked for the railroad company. Kansas City Public Service, Los Carritos. He did 42 years there. Yeah, he worked pretty hard. And oftentimes in the wintertime was the worst time for him, because no sooner he got home, they'd call him again. There he goes on the road again. And that's how we made our life with my father working. Then of course the brothers had to go out and try to make a little money as well, because my dad couldn't support us all. You know how it is. When you come home, you gotta have something to eat, and Dad just couldn't keep up with that. And that's the way it went.
Yeah. So what part of the city did they settle in?
Right here on Holly, I believe it was Holly where they settled. On 24th Street.
44th in Kansas City, Missouri's West Side, is that correct?
Yeah, the Westside community.
Okay. And what was life like for you as a kid growing up in the West Side?
Oh, it wasn't sweet at all. It was hard. With so many kids, it became pretty hard. And this is why myself, as a little boy, I guess I call myself, I used to go out and hustle to see if I could make a little change for my pocket, because there was no money hardly at all at home. And I run around with the boys a little bit, and we went in different places trying to pick up wood, glass, metal, and sell it to the junkyard and make a little change for the pocket, Maybe once in a while we get to go downtown and watch a movie. With a quarter you could do everything. Buy a box of popcorn and see 3 movies at one time. That's the way it was. And walk downtown, of course. And that's how it was. It wasn't easy, and most of the families had the same count. They had to go out there and hustle, try to find something.
Where was the junkyard located?
Right across the street on I'm going to call it 24th Street, because when it occurs here, I don't know whether it has to be 24th. Right across the street from Summit on 24th Street. There was a tavern that they called DeFales right across the street from there. It ran probably about a block and a half long. They bought tires, they bought this, they bought that, and that's how we did it.
Yeah.
We as kids, of course,
Sure. Down by the firehouse and not too far from Johnny's Market.
Well, across the street from the firehouse, it extended almost that far, the junkyard.
I heard the story that the mayor came here to visit with Eleanor Roosevelt, and Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Where would these kids play?" They said, "Well, they don't have a real ball field. And so Eleanor Roosevelt said to the mayor, well, you need to take this lot across the street and build a park. And that's why it's named Gage Park, after the mayor.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, yeah. Well, going back to your life on the West Side, you eventually went to school, I'm sure. Did you go to the Guadalupe school?
All the way through. All the way through. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it there, and that's where to be.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about some of your teachers and classmates at the Guadalupe school.
Well, I don't remember too much about the sisters, except one. ¿Cómo se llamaba?
Sister Guadalupe,
La pichona.
Sister Peter Richard.
The one I really remember that I liked was Sister Guadalupe. He just mentioned that she was she was good to us. She was really, really good to us. But the others, I don't remember them too well.
Yeah.
I don't remember them too well.
Did you ever interact with Dorothy Gallagher when she was active?
I was a little too young, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, from here, you tell me where you went to, what you did after high school.
Well, actually, to be honest with you, I didn't finish high school.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't finish high school. Well, about that time, I think, we started thinking about the guys, of course, the guys that I run around with about my age, you know. Everybody's going into to the military. I guess I was 18 years old or something like that. I think it was 18. So we got together and said, well, so-and-so's gone, so I guess we're next. 3 of us went together. Out of the 3, 2 of us were together all the way through. 4 years on a ship.
Do you remember their names?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. One is still living, but he never comes out to say hello to nobody. His name is Leo Arzola, his cousin.
Uncle.
He never comes out. And the other one was Paul Gonzalez. He lived right on Holly. He was my comp. We were together on the same ship. We became very close.
What was the name of the ship that you were on?
It was it was a warship, the heavy cruiser Rochester. We carried 1,500 sailors.
And were you in the Pacific or in the Atlantic?
Pacific.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Korean War.
Yeah, during the Korean War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give us an experience that you had aboard ship? What were your duties?
Well, it was kind of sad. You know, when you board ship, and after you board ship, you're on your way over there. We start weeding through it. Who goes here and who goes? We had about 15 divisions on this ship. You had the Culinary, you had the pipe fitters, you had the electricians. Everybody was a different division. It depended on how you read as far. I mean, how you did it in school. How you did in school. Well, I didn't do very good because I failed my first year, so that was time for me to quit. I didn't want to go do it again. But anyhow, we got separated on the ship, and me and my friend Paul, we were dumped into the 2nd division, which is what our job was on an everyday case was that we were considered like maintenance on the ship, upkeep, scrubbing the walls and doing this, and taking care of the restrooms. That was our job, which was not a great job.
Yeah.
Then came about 2 years later after the Korean War was over. It was over July 27, 1953. That's when I said, well, I still got 2 years to go. I need to do something because what I'm doing now it's not going to do nothing for me when I get out of the service. So I had a little experience in meat cutting. So I talked to the officer if he would give me a chance to transfer over to the galley. I kind of like what they were doing. They ate well, of course. And he says, what do you know about that? I said, well, not so much of there. How about, I'm a meat cutter. Oh, he says, you are? I said, yes, sir. He said, well, let me think about it. Well, I went after him over and over and over. Finally, probably about a month and a half later, he says, Barbosa, come here. I said, yes, sir. He says, you've been telling me you want to go into the galley. I said, yes, sir. He says, you know what you're going to do for me? I said, no, sir, tell me. He says, tomorrow you report. I'll take care of the paperwork for you. You're going to be mine. I said, wow. I'll show you something, okay? But just give me a couple days. Not today, not tomorrow, but let's keep on, and I'll show you. I got in there and went to work, and I didn't start cooking just yet. First I had to wash the pots and pans, okay? That was my job for about a month or so. Then I kept saying, wow, is this what I asked for? I'm talking to myself, of course. I said, so I'm going to ask him, see what he tells me now. So I did. I went to him. I said, you know, I'm in your department now, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. When do I get over there with the boys? He says, it's coming. I says, when? When the war's over? He says, no. You'll be there. He finally gave me a break. He put me on the floor. Then I start cranking. Before you know it, I was responsible, in charge of, there was two teams in the kitchen, the port side and the starboard side, okay? I was in one of them. Then I became fairly good, so I was responsible for one side, one of the team. Team 1 and Team 2, okay? Then I took off with that. Then one day he says, Jess, I need to talk to you. I thought I did something wrong. I said, yes, sir. He says, you know what? The boys tell me, and I snuck around and I've watched you. You're doing pretty good in there. You know that, don't you? I says, well, I don't know. I'm trying. He says, you know what I'm going to do for you? I says, tell me. I'm going to transfer you. I said, oh, Lord, where am I going now? I says, where am I going? He says, you're going to a good place, okay? I said to myself, what good place is there here? You're going with me, and you start cooking for the officers. I said, oh, wow. Me? He says, yeah, you. I says, okay, I'm ready. So there we go. And I started cooking for the officers. The officers like me, and they say, hey, where you been? I said, I've been over there in the galley with the rest of the boys. He said, you should have been here with us. I said, well, it's not up to me, it's up to the boss. So that's where I went. And I finished off with the officer's mess, and I was happy. And then my time was up already. Time to go home. They said, no, you stay. We'll give you some good money. Baloney. You go by the rates, you know what I mean? It's not like outside work where they can do what they want to do, but no, not in the service. Well, it was time to go, so I left. That was the end of my military. Well, when I got through with the military, I stayed out of work for about, well, I didn't go to work at all, really, for about 2 weeks. And I kept saying, you know, I can't do this. I got to find me a job. So I said to myself, you know what? I think I'll try the kitchen work, you know. 3 places I went to in one given day, and they didn't want a Navy cook, okay? It's okay. So then I said, I talked to one of the waiters. His name was Gilbert Guerra, Sr.
Yeah,
They called him Biscuit.
yeah.
He said, Chuck, they called me Chuck when I was a kid. I'm going to help you. I says, oh boy, how did you find out? Oh, the word gets around. I'm going to talk to Mr. Pasilli. and see what he can do for you. I says, seriously? I said, yeah. I'm going to talk to him first, then I'll let you know when we go together. So, yeah, he had talked to him, and he says, come on, we're going together. So Mr. Pasilli came out, believe me, he came out the back door to meet me. I didn't go in the front door, he came out the back door. And I said, wow, the general manager, the president of the company is coming to talk to me at the back dock. He says, yeah, no problem. So we shook hands and told me this, told me that, told me this. I said, sir, I appreciate it. He said, you can start tomorrow. And I said, wow. I was overwhelmed, okay? And he says, you know what? Mr. Pasilli, I want to thank you. And I'm not going to look back. I'm going to go forward. You wait and see. Just give me a little time and I'll show you that I can make it. He says, okay. So there I went to work. They threw me in the kitchen. I started my work. And in order to go up the ladder, you really, there's so much to learn in the culinary. You know what I mean? From salt to whatever it is, okay? So the chef threw me on a station after the beginning, you know. He says, you're going to work there, and you're going to show me what you can do. Well, just kind of give me an idea what I'm going to do. He says, well, I'll have, what's the name, give you a hand and show you around a little bit.
What restaurant was that?
That was the main kitchen. That's where you do all your prep for the whole hotel. The only place you don't prep is things that you do every day on a special and stuff like that, where you can do it yourself there on your station. This is the big stuff from the kitchen. Well, anyhow, I got through with that station. Then they put me on another station. I got through with that station. I went from station to station learning all the aspects of what it takes and how these guys get the stuff out. You know what I mean? They all kind of come together. Whatever you're doing, that side, this side, they kind of meet in the middle. And then the other guy takes it over and finishes the product or finishes the dish or whatever it is. I learned all the stations. After learning all the stations, there was a guy on top of me, ahead of me. There was the chef, the sous chef, and the other guys are like us, just regular cooks. Well, I knew that I had a chance to jump into the next station. Next station. And I talked to this guy, and I said, what do you think? He says, you know what? You got a good chance. I took his job away from him, okay? That was it. Then I kept on just as an understudy to the chef. I knew where I was supposed to go and see what they're doing and how they're doing. Because I had already learned all these different stations. From these stations goes almost to the end, and the next step is to the table. Well, I already knew all this stuff there. And I was glad that I took the job at the beginning from station to station so I could put my program together. Well, now I'm kind of in charge. Actually, I was kind of like the commander then. The chef would sit and I'd do all the, But I had fun. I did well with it. I learned a lot of classical at the very beginning at the Muehlebach. Because then, most of them in the kitchen were Europeans, okay? And they're tough to work with, okay? Because they come from their country, or the old country, and they think they're the only ones that know how to cook. Well, today it's not that way. Today the Americans know what they're doing now. But it was hard in the kitchen for me, working around them. Well, I think at that point when I was coming up in rank, I think I was the only Mexican there. Well, you know how it is. We're not liked too well, okay? But I took it. They kicked me around good. It didn't matter. It didn't bother me. I was young. That's the only thing I had good going for me. I was young and I was strong and I could take it. But that's okay. I made it. Now here comes 1969. The chef got fired. And I said, oh boy, who's going to take over now? Who's coming in? At that time we had the big guy, the owner of the hotel. His name was Mr. Barney Alice. He was a tough man to work for. This man would come in the kitchen every morning, look in the garbage cans or the trash cans, see what they throw away. In our side of the fence, he would look in there and he would see some lettuce or something like that. He would pull it out of the thing. He says, you see this? He'd get my knife or he'd put it on the table. He took about this much off. He said, that's your money. This is not how you do it. And he was right too. He was right. He was smart, sharp. He was a tough man. But he was good though. Well, anyhow. In my first 15 and a half years at the Muehlebach, I worked probably under 6 different chefs. And they were not local. Italian, 2 Germans, a Swiss, well, a couple others from not different kinds. They were not that. They were European chefs, and they were hard to handle. You had to take a lot from them guys. But like I say, I was young, and I was tough. I took a lot, but it's okay. I said to myself, I'm going to get there and I'm going to make it. Chef after chef. He would keep one chef only maybe a year or a year and a half, no more. Get another one in. And there they come, one by one. There was one guy that I did like, and he really, really taught me a lot. He took a liking to me. His name was Max Sensel. Him and I went together. He took me with him to open up the hotel on the plaza. One of the finest, one of the most beautiful hotels, run well, had good people working there, and I had one hell of a team. I had 70 employees under me then, okay? It was tough. To open up a new hotel, and the menus they throw at you, it is tough. Well, anyhow, before I got there or before I went,
State the name of the hotel. State the name of the hotel.
the Alameda Plaza Hotel. Let's go back to the Muehlebach. Then after the last chef left, there was an opening for a chef. And I said, I wonder who it's going to be now. And guess what? It was me. I took over. At the end of my career here at the Muehlebach, I think I was a chef for maybe 2 years. That's when my food and beverage director, I used to have to answer to him. He came down and talked to me. He says, Jess, you know, me and Mr. Pastilli, we're going down to the plaza. I said, yeah, what are you going to do over there? He said, we're building a new hotel. And we're going to go down there and see what it looks like and see what we need to get for it, and so on and so on. He says, by the way, you keep this in mind. I said, yeah, what do you want me to keep in mind? You're coming with us. Not now, but you're coming with us. And I said to myself, wow. I've never opened a hotel in my life. I was kind of scared. Well, come time to go, about a year later after they had the bulk of it done, that's what they called me. You need to come down. So I gave them 2 weeks notice and I said, I'm leaving you. Where you going? Oh, on a plaza. I didn't say where, but on a plaza. She says, don't go. Well, it's time for me to go. So I left. I went over there. I moved furniture, waited for my job to open up. Furniture, glassware, you name it, I did everything. Not only me, the team members, the key people that were going to go over there. Yeah, we kind of put it together pretty good. The hardest part is trying to get the team together. You didn't know when to pull them or when to ask them to come on down. You know what I mean? That was hard. That was very, very hard. So that's where I landed at. It was a good job. I did well with it. I kind of ran it myself pretty good. Well, I had understudies as well. I had some key people with me. Those are the guys I really, really wanted. And it happened to be one of them was his brother, Andrew Fuentes. Good man. Sharp, fast. He had a head on him. Yeah, that was Andrew. I had others. I had some special ones that were really good. We knew each other well. We knew what we were doing. Yeah, we opened up the Alameda Plaza and we just kept on going. The biggest thing that now that I'm out of it, or the hotel's not there with us anymore, I'm saying it because it's me saying it, because what I'm saying is the truth. We were the flagship, not only of Kansas City, surrounding cities, surrounding states. We became a preferred hotel, and those are hard to come. You gotta be almost perfect in the way you run the hotel, whether it's the food, whether it's the rooms, whether it's the courtesy of the servers, or the bus people, or the people that bring in the customers from the outside. All of that stuff put together is what you gotta do. Every day, daily. And we did it because we were rewarded very, very highly. We received the AAA 4-star 5-diamond award for 14 consecutive years. No one has ever touched us. No one has ever touched us. I'm not saying they are, but I don't think so. When you went into the hotel, it was plush. It was clean. The service, the waiters, whoever you talk to, they were kind to people, and that's important. That's how you get people back. We did a lot of banquet work there, and we did a lot of classical cooking upstairs. We had just about everything sold up, but we were busy all the time.
Yeah.
We could do 1,000 people in one night on banquets, only banquets now, okay? Then we had our Pam Pam kitchen. We did 1,000 every day. Every day, the coffee shop. Upstairs we had our private dining rooms in the back. We did a lot of work back there too. And they got exquisite food. Classical food. As well as the main dining room upstairs, the rooftop they call it. You want to hear about a busy place? That was a busy place. But you know what? We had people that worked with us, or we worked together for years. And the reason why they worked there for years is because we knew each other, we were kind to each other, we worked together, And that was marvelous. You need more hotels like that. Caring is the most important thing. Caring.
Yeah.
And don't forget to thank you either.
Right. So from the Alameda Plaza, where did you go when you retired or left the Alameda Plaza?
Well, my next step is I'm going forward now. Well, it was time for this company they call the Ritz-Carlton Corporation. Bought the place up. I stayed with them for I think a month and a half. They were going to tell me they were going to do this, do that, they were going to change this and change that. I said, fine. Whatever you guys want, we'll do it. I'm being nice to them, okay? But inside, I'm not nice inside to me. But I didn't let it out. Oh, they brought in their machines, they did this, everything is going to be fresh. We don't buy it and freeze it, we don't do nothing like that. You bring it in every day. That's wonderful. We'll do it. Well, that only lasted for me about a month and a half. It was time for me to leave. That was nice about it. The guy says, don't leave us, don't leave us. We're just beginning to like you. That's just wonderful. But you know what? I gotta go. Don't ask me why, but I gotta go. And I appreciate it if you let me go. Okay? That was 1989. I went downtown. I gave downtown the Marriott 26 years. I had just got through with the Alameda, that was 17 and a half. Then the Muehlebach was 15 and a half. So I went from hotel to hotel. Don't forget, I am a hotel chef. Not a restaurant, hotel chef. We do everything from scratch. Okay? That's what I like about my job. I did a lot of things. I was happy. Because everything I did, it paid off. I got just about every award you can get. In Kansas City, the Chefs Association, another group of people that I was one of the founders for the apprenticeship program. I graduated 30 apprentices under me. I did 4 apprentices of the year. I taught classes at the college. I did quite a bit for the apprenticeship program. Because I like it. I want them kids to come up in the ranks and be what they want to be.
Mm-hmm. What college was that?
Johnson County Community College, over there on Culinary. We have a program there. They teach there. We're about to have our 50th year celebration. It's due now. We skipped 2 years because of the pandemic. We're going to put up a dinner. We're going to sell tickets. And that's for the apprenticeship program. I like that. I like to do things like that to help school, the kids, whatever they need. You know what I mean? That's my thing. And I think we do well with it. Mm-hmm. This gentleman that's a chef here at this I was going to call it a hotel, the Guadalupe Center, Vega, he was one of my apprentices. He's a good one. He needs to be in the kitchen, not driving the truck. Food needs help. The food needs help. I did good with the apprentices. Most of the apprentices I had, they found good jobs, top jobs too.
What advice would you give to an up-and-coming chef, a young person who aspires to be a chef? What advice would you give him?
Well, the first place you got to go to is go to school. You can always find a job doing what you like. See, whatever you practice at whatever you study and practice at school, you take it with you and apply it wherever you're working. I say, hey, can I try this? You know, That's the way to do it. I think it's the only way to do it. But you got to take it serious too.
Right.
It's not playing ball. You got to get with it. That's all there's to it.
How
Yeah.
would you like to be remembered, Jess?
Ooh, that's hard.
That's always a tough one.
Yeah, because you know what? My way of thinking in the kitchen, you got to do it this way, not your way. Once you learn my way, and you decide you want to cheat, go ahead and cheat. But I don't want people to say, well, he taught me that. No. You do it this way. You do it over again. And I'll walk away from you. When it comes around again, I'll sneak up on you. They don't know that. I'll watch you. It's got to be right. So why go to school if it's not going to be right? You just want to be a playboy in the kitchen? You don't belong there. Go to McDonald's. No. I was very, very firm in the kitchen with everyone because I know what I wanted and they knew what I wanted. So you do it my way. If it's better, let's lay it out on the table. And if I think it's better, we're going to go for it. It's not because it's me. If it's better, we'll do it, and that's what it's going to be. Simple. It's been hard, but it's been worth it. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that you've gotten a Hall of Fame designation as a chef. Tell us about that.
Well, all of that comes together with not being a smart guy, doing what it takes to get there. From the beginning, through the years, as we work, it's critical. You have a lot of tests you have to take to make it. It's not what I say, it's a given. It's what you've learned and what you do today. And if you're still doing it, you find out that there are other things that you can do that'll help you get there. There's a lot of ways, or there's a lot of things that you have to study to get there. Number one, you got to be certified. Okay? If you don't make it the first time, you try it again. It's just like school. If you can't make it, you take it home and study it and do it again. You get a chance, but the chance is, it's up to you. It's different things that you do and you're awarded with. Like myself, I got awarded from the National. Several big ones. The Lifetime Achievement Award. Life. One chef only a year of all the chefs in the U.S. One chef, okay? I got that in 2004. Because these people in the academy that I belong to, which lifetime member, they know who you are. They know what you do. Through the paperwork that you send into to headquarters. They know what you're doing over here. When I was running the association here, the chef association, they knew what I was doing. Because I used to get thank yous and stuff like that. And they used to tell me, this guy is dead already. His name was Edwin Brown. Good people. He said, Jess, you're doing a good job. Just keep it up. We're going to think about you.
Was that the Restaurant Association or?
No, it's a chef association.
Chef Association.
I'm strictly chef.
Yeah.
The restaurant association is separate from us. Okay? Well, there's many things that how you get the Hall of Fame. You got to be an executive chef. Must be an executive, not a chef. Executive. You got to have a certificate. Okay? I think that calls for 15 years and several things that you got to have. Being a chef, 15 years and other things. By going to national conventions. You have to check in with the academy that you're there. Those things they look at. You're on record at headquarters in Florida. They tell you where you're at. If I need to know something about myself, I call them. Well, all kinds of things like that is what makes you in the Hall of Fame. It's, you're voted in. You got to send your criteria, what you've done through the years, where you worked, different awards that you get on the national level. I got the Good Taste Award also. That was a hard one too. Okay, yeah, I got that one then.
Yeah.
I got the Presidential Citation. That's a hard one too. I got several big awards.
When you say the Presidential Citation, is that from the
It comes from the president of the American Culinary Federation.
Okay.
He's the big boss. Well, on all the chapters, everything. By the way, this gentleman that I'm talking about that gave me my job there at the very beginning, when right after 2 weeks of doing nothing out of the service, you know, he was responsible for me getting where I got. He gave me the start. He took me in, what I say, in his arms, and put me to work.
Now his son is in charge of those hotels now, right? The Pastelli.
Well, he's not there no more. They sold out. They done. Yeah. Well, he took over. The thing was that I followed, and he carried me from day one till I left the Marriott. I was with him 59 years. Okay, same man, same president, general manager, on and on and on.
State his full name.
Philip Pastelli. Good man. I just don't know I just don't know what to say. And I can't forget him. Because I've got his pictures at home hanging on my wall. And him next to me. Yeah.
Did you work with Kevin Pastelli?
Do I?
No, did you?
At one point?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his dad was gone, so he took over, so he was in charge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we get along real good. The Pastelli family, we get along.
Yeah.
I used to get along with his missus as well. I can tell you right now, I remember in my young days at the Muehlebach, they used to live in the Muehlebach. All the presidents live in the Muehlebach that run the hotel. His missus and his kids, well, Kevin was a little kid. He used to come to the storeroom with a basket, fill up with groceries, take upstairs and have dinner. I remember all them little things. And I remind him once in a while. He just looks at me, you remember that? I says, why not? I was working there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That family's been good to me, very good to me.
That's
I'd
great.
do anything for them, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for this
Well,
opportunity.
I tried, okay?
Yeah, you did great. Thank you.